Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including E.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including got me on Nevex and bought me some Joe. Farming go crazy, you know how it goes. Zoopy on Phantom, I got a few notes. Sticking my Rex, you know I'm gon' hold. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including E.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including E.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat, mining sprees, and we're farming all around, including E.
Woo!
All right. Welcome, everybody, to R2R live stream number 135. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. We're one day away from the weekend. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube, smash the like button, right? Smash that like button. Subscribe, post notifications. And if you're not part of the members only crew and you'd like to buy me a coffee for just $2.99 a month, you get some additional content. Yesterday we did my price predictions on the markets across the board with Bitcoin, Ethereum, the altcoins, blockchains that I'm involved with. And we talked about the scenario that we're looking at today too. So links in the description if you want to join that, be a member. Freedom of speech platform, X, aka Twitter. Make sure you pound the like button there and retweet. What's going on? God, LFG, thank you for being here. Thank you for your support, brother. Adrian Kent, welcome. So, if you were in the members only yesterday, and I was talking about my price targets, it was pretty hard for people to, digest the information I was giving them, especially yesterday, because we went to like an $83,000 Bitcoin, right? We went to an $83,000 Bitcoin. So I throw the members video up there, and I throw this tweet out there for the public. I said, looks like a bullish day for crypto due to pausing of tariffs against other countries, but not China. Remember? Trump slapped a 125% or 104%, I believe, and then it was 104 and then 125 against China. Like the crowd enters their long positions, the exchanges now water from the mouth in excitement for market makers to put in their next play in motion, dump and liquidate the longs. Because everyone became bullish, right? Everyone became bullish, not I, for the simple fact, Trump paused the tariffs. But they don't understand we're still in a massive trade war. And a massive trade war with one of the biggest competing countries in the world, China. So did you think Trump was going to lay the hammer on China after China says we will not back down unless they are willing to negotiate with us, and pretty much be fair about it? China has came back. And we'll look at that in a second. But look at the longs liquidated so far in 24-hour period, 252 million, 308 million shorts. That's people that got liquidated for putting in shorts. So the shorts got liquidated during the pump. Now the longs are going to get liquidated during the dump. And it's just history repeats itself. The centralized exchanges keep making their money on you, on the backs of these stupid investors that give them their money. And what's happening right now, let's go take a look at the news. China trade war reality sets in the market, like I said, from zero to a hero real quick, right? From zero to a hero real quick. And what's going on is China trade war reality sets in amid wider reciprocal pause, okay? This is going to get ugly. The White House clarified on Thursday that the U.S. tariffs on Chinese imports are now at least 145, not the 125 that Trump said previously. He's like trying to choke him out into submission right now. This is only going to provoke China. This is only going to provoke a fight. And they already said they're going to fight to the end. They're going to fight. They're going to, you want a trade war? We're going to give you a trade war. That's what they're saying. And the markets are reacting to it. We went to, let's go take a look at the price of Bitcoin. Went to $8,300. And in the members only video yesterday, I was like, hey, from zero to a hero, back down to a zero real quick. And the things that are not for certain with the stability of the market on that pump was it was an emotional pump based off these tariff decisions. It was not meant for sustainability. Maybe this news isn't for sustainability as far as staying down. And then on the flip side going up, it's not strong enough to stay strong. But what we are in, right? What we are in, we are 5 years overdue. 5 years overdue. We're 5 years overdue for the stock market to get out of the bubble, because now it becomes a bubble. When you skip a cycle, it becomes a bubble, right? We saw the housing bubbles. We saw that was due to the subprime mortgage loans. I remember I was a young buck. I was selling these loans to people that were adjusting every 2 years, these subprime loans, and we were putting them in even shittier loans, which at the time, I didn't realize what it was going to do to the economy. At the time, I was trying to make money. I was very young, and I was good at what you could put me on a phone, and I've always been able to sell, top performer. So I was getting people to refi, just letting them know they were ballooning out of their, they were in a balloon. It was their interest rate was going to go up. Boom. I didn't know I was slapping them into these negative deferring interest option arm loans. That it was just catastrophic to the housing, to the overall market. And I look back and I'm like, oh man, that bubble popped. So stock market has a 10-year cycle, it goes bear. We would have went into like a bear right around COVID, like we always do every 10 years, like the cycles, but we printed our way through it because of the troubles that COVID brought to the table. And then that presidency after Trump sustained it to continue to go up. They kept printed our way out of the situation to boost the economy. Later, jobs came back because we were no longer stuck and locked up in our homes. I guess they did everything they could do necessary at the time, right? Who knows? Who agrees with whatever, the outcome was? It is what it is. Was it best? But now, Bitcoin, right, should be where it's at in its 4-year cycle, going bear, right? We're in a bear market, I believe. But the stock market should be recovering around this time had they not printed through where it should have been in a bear market, during COVID, recovering. And it could mitigate the bear market that we're in now to not be that extreme. But now, this will be the first time, right, since we skipped the 10-year cycle, since Bitcoin's inception, that Bitcoin that is now heavily correlated to the stock market, this would be the first time ever Bitcoin will be in a stock bear market when that happens. And I believe it's inevitable. The markets are going to tank, right? The Feds are going to cut rates. The U.S. Trump is going to do exactly what I think is according to plan. At a lower interest rate, refinance the debt, the U.S. debt, at a lower interest rate. But now that the cycles have skipped in the stock market, now that we're so heavily correlated with the stock market, and the stock market is going to be triggered, people think, because of the tariff wars, it was going to happen regardless because the bubble is here and it's a real thing. However, Now that Bitcoin's in its own bear market plus the stock market, and it will be a bubble crash, recession, Great Depression, a lot of things are on the line here. That's a bad recipe for Bitcoin. So the smartest traders right now are probably not trading right now. And if you're in crypto, and you were in the members only video yesterday, I was talking about, and I've talked about in R2R, like, I'm going stable, wait for these dips, make money where I can. But this would be Bitcoin's very first stock market bear market that's coming. Does it make sense that, let me ask you, would it make sense to you that the stock market wouldn't go into a bear market after it skipped and it's gone overlapped what the cycle by 4 or 5 years? Let's look it up. Stock market, previous bear market. Let me see if I can get something on Google. Let's see, its last bear market crash. It's telling me the last bear market was in 2022. That wasn't a bear market. Stock market, previous cycle. Because we have done nothing. And we'll look at the chart right now. The old chart. Well, let's take a look at this chart. Let's go back. Let's go back really quick. The S&P 500. Let's look at its all-time and see what's been going on. Man, since 1871. That's crazy, right? So we're going here 2017, 18. They're calling this right here the bear market. But this has just been up and to the right gradually. But like I said, in between where we were supposed to have, based off the cycles here, because of COVID, we printed our way through this, and it happened very quickly. And then we went up, and then it dipped, and it shot back up. Like, this right here is not like a healthy looking chart for me for the stock market when I look at that, right? Like, it's supposed to just be like a gradual. I feel like it's been going up too much. Printing. Fake. And for me, when we have a bubble crash, right? I wonder, like, let me go to Yahoo Finance really quick. I wonder what these overall points will be. Like, I'm starting to think it would be like a 3,500 point S&P 500 would be like the big bubble crash. And that would be like Warren Buffett can go and buy the dip, right? And Warren Buffett's been in the game for so long. I believe he is just on top of it before everybody else too. The more stuff I read about Buffett, look at this from 2 days ago. Let's look at this article. He's not Warren Buffett for no reason. Warren Buffett's decision to sit on 300 billion cash pile pays off as 500 richest Mongols lose $500 billion. This is an article from 3 days ago. What up, G? I feel you, dude. Yeah. It's interesting because Warren Buffett's sitting on $300 billion of cash to buy the dip. You don't sit on 300. You're not known for the one of the greatest stock traders next to Nancy Pelosi of all time in the long term for no reason, right? And people to go and look and go, well, he's sitting in 300 billion in cash. What an idiot. No, he knows. He knows. He knows damn well. That's $300 billion of cash he's sitting on. While the other people are losing hundreds of billions of dollars right now. He's sitting on a pile of cash because he's been cashing out. He's going to be that fool that buys the dip at 3,500 and rides it back up. There are billionaires that are round tripping right now, right? And it's hilarious to me because we look at Ethereum, right? And I see it all over Twitter. Good morning. Happy payday, right? I see it all over Twitter. They're like, if you know, you know. Remember when Trump started to buy Ethereum? Oh, he must be buying Ethereum for some reason. They know something. If you know, you know. You get those hashtags all over, and I'm going, bro, this fool barely got into crypto, right? Even his sons are new to crypto compared to when I got into it. I said, because they go and start spending tens and millions of dollars that literally they got from fees from providing LP on Solana from the token launch for not only Melania and Trump. Just because they're out there spending that right now doesn't mean that they're making genius moves because they know something. Because the person that I thought was the smartest out of anybody in crypto bought the ETH top. All right. Literally bought close to the top. The top was like $4,000. He goes by the name of Richard Hart. He got $1 billion in sacrifice funds, split it up, right? Spent $645 million plus at an average ETH price of $3,773. He's down 60%. Down 60%. Okay? So when you go and you look on Twitter, I'm going to call up Ian. I love Ian from the what are they called again? Crypto Kings, right? If you know, you know. Liberty Capital, whatever they're called, buying Bitcoin. BlackRock's buying Ethereum. All these guys, they're following these Trump wallets they're buying. I'm like, you're getting excited because Donald Trump, who's fairly new to buying cryptocurrencies, I'm like, these guys don't care if they buy the top. These dudes with hundreds of millions of dollars, they are in it for the long run, and they're not good at buying tops and bottoms. They buy for the long run and just guess I'll be up over time, right? That's what they think. That's how these true rich entrepreneurs, people that are not good at crypto, they're just getting in, that got a lot of capital. Trump made so much money on fees on Solana, providing LP on Meteora, right? Through LP fees, millions and millions and millions, tens of millions. I think it could have been like 80 million the last time I checked. Started buying ETH. ETH was like $2,500, $3,000 at the time. When did Trump token launch? And people had the nerve, and sorry, I don't want to call anyone out. Sorry, Ian, I just remember reading your post. People wanted to go and say, if you know, you know. Look who's buying. Like, what? What? Do you not remember Michael Saylor, too? Another rich guy? Super ultra rich? Was buying market buying Bitcoin. He didn't even set limit orders. He was just like fat fingering all his buys. That's how unexperienced he was on buying crypto. Right? So he didn't even get the best price he possibly could have gotten, like at all. These guys don't know what they're doing. So if you just see them spending millions of dollars, so what? So Trump launched his meme token in January, right? That's when he launched it. Made all his money in fees, and he was buying Ethereum here all these months. If you go look at what Ethereum did since January, let's go look at what Ethereum's done since January. All right. Let me pull the chart to we have to pull it to 1 year. But anyways, since January, where he started buying after his token launched, he bought it, and it just kept crashing. If you know, you know. That those tweets were all over Twitter. It was the most annoying thing to me. World Liberty Capital just spent $20 million on ETH. Next day it goes down. Next day it goes down. Buy more. Next day it goes down. They were buying a falling knife. Now, since they made majority of their fees in F and Solana and USDC, and they really knew the market, maybe they watched Thomas G, and Thomas G had been saying for a year, since early 2024, that we're going to be in a bear market March of 2025. That would have been like, just wait for Thomas's call, and I could spend tens of millions of dollars and buy the bottom. Could have done that, right? But they don't watch me because they don't know. They haven't been in the market as long as I have, or a lot of these crypto vets have, right? Just because they have all this money, I can tell you right now, I know more about crypto and at the tip of my pinky finger than Trump or any of his team knows. I can guarantee you that. I have forgotten more about crypto than these guys will know in the next year. All right? The best of the best. And there's a lot of you out there who know more than Trump's team, that know more than Michael Saylor's team. Like I said, I have forgotten more about crypto than these guys will learn in the next year. Okay? That's how far ahead of them. So their time on the market is just buying whenever. And they're still going to buy as it goes down. And if it goes down more, they're going to continue to buy. Now, I don't think it's ever going to be a stupid buy, to be honest, if they're keeping their Solana. But I wouldn't be buying Ethereum going all the way down, because Ethereum, I think, is going to go to $600 to $750. I talked about this in the members only stream. I talked about all my price targets and kind of when I think those drawdowns will happen. So if you remember, you didn't watch that video yesterday, take a look. Okay. So what could happen in the very near future is kind of scary, because even my price points and predictions will have to be a lot lower when that happens. You know, we go into a massive bubble crash. That's Michael Saylor, close to liquidation, right? What price would Michael Saylor get liquidated at? Let's take a look. They need a website, Michael Saylor's liquidation price off. It says MicroStrategy doesn't have any liquidation price. Unlike at other times in MicroStrategy history, all the company's debt is now unsecured. Its creditors don't hold any Bitcoin as collateral, as they have no power to force Saylor to sell any of it. Wow. That's crazy. That is crazy. Michael Saylor is like all in too. All in. They should have gone into R2R members only. Yeah, they should have gone into the Telegram group, right? A lot of people like get really upset with me too, because I'm like, oh, we're in a bear market. And I'm like, I'm not trying to make enemies, trying to make people mad, or even trying to act like I know everything. I don't know everything, but I've been there, done that. I've seen these markets and where they go and what I should have, could have, would have done. So I've learned my lessons, right? And traditionally, we haven't broken the 4-year cycle in crypto as of yet. Like we're still experiencing that spot on, right? Because nothing can really manipulate crypto, because we can't just start inflating tokens, like create our own inflation when it comes to Bitcoin to damage it. It just has like a natural cycle that it's in. Stock market, now that it's tied to Bitcoin at this given time, and it has been a case where we're printing money, and we printed our way through what should have been a substantial crash that lasted a while. We've only continuously put a band-aid. So now when things really pop off, like, and explode, it could take 10 years to recover. Like, there's no way in hell, after everything that has happened and everything that they've, band-aid to not happen, that it would just correct like a normal bear market, right? It could take a long time. And that sucks that Bitcoin's tied to it. But Bitcoin, now that it's in its bear, to me, it's going to go down lower than probably I expected. If the stock market does go into a bear market now, and it's a major one, it'll still crypto will still have its cycle. It'll just go down further, than anticipated. That's how I really see it. Once people start treating bear market talks as the opposition, embrace it and learn how to play when they'll make it in crypto. Yeah, there's like just so much money to be made right now too. Okay, like you guys in my group know, right? I'm bearish on the market, but am I bearish? Like, oh, get out of crypto. I'm like, no, I'm in OG Web Chef printers right now. Like print. So we're printing and buying the bottom in what is it, Pulse Chain right now? What happened? Let me look at OG's stat page here. I guess all the stats are not showing right now, right? That's okay. We're printing and buying the bottom on Pulse Chain. Now that we're printing hard because we're early in OG Web Chef's, tokens, all we have to do is bridge out to ETH or bridge out to Sonic, bridge out to anywhere else, and buy those dips too. So we're doing really well. While there is so much market uncertainty, so much happening, so much negative impacts that will soon happen, we are literally preparing and stretching our money out and printing. So it's been fun. It's a lot of fun. I always make more money in the bear market. I hate that. It's just, I don't know why. I think it's because when I'm finally at the top, and this time I knew when we were at the top. The previous time when I was at the top, I was like, we're going higher. That was my first time. Bitcoin hit 19,000. I sold half. I should have sold all of it. And then it went down to 3,000. And then the second time went to 60. Sold a little bit. I should have sold all of it again. Because every time I hit a new all-time high, I'm like, we're going up to $100,000 Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. You go on Twitter and everyone's like putting these charts and you start to like, I don't get charts, but everyone's got a really good chart that looks the same. It must be happening. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. All these times, many would say ETH's correlated with Bitcoin, not this cycle. Ethereum, it's just the reason why it's not heavily tied to Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a store of value, right? Gold is a store of value. Silver, it has more utility than gold, but its price sucks, right? It's never performed like gold. It almost looks as if it's been intentionally suppressed. The price of silver is depressing. You would think like, all right, gold looks pretty, you can make jewelry, cool. But silver's got so much more utility. It's not even funny. Palladium's got so much utility, and palladium's worth a good amount versus, silver. But the utility with palladium versus silver, I think it's much greater. So that's why the price is different. So that would make it technically in the digital world, the better tech, right? It has better use for technology. The better techs in crypto are going to perform well and do good. And I don't think Richard Hart saw this. If Richard Hart, listen, like I had to finally get off that, oh, he is a god. Like now we see he's human. We see he gets frustrated. We see he's one of the most wanted on a list on Interpol in Finland. And we see he's human, right? He made a horrible trade. Horrible. One hell of a bad trade. He forked the worst tech on the market right now. He made an entire blockchain forked like verbatim. Now, when he first made it, I thought there was going to be all this innovation, but it's not the apple didn't fall far from the tree. It's faster and cheaper. Right now, the gas fees are high. But it was like, why did we wait that long for the launch? And it's like this close in similarities with like, it's like if you served a glass of water and you put a little bit of lemon juice in it and some ice. Right? And then you're like, hey, look at this one. This one's just a cup of water, but I got ice and lemon on this one. It's still a cup of water, right? With a little bit of splash of this and that. So he forked the worst tech. He bought the worst tech token out there at the top. So now we go, okay, he's human, all right? He's human. It's like when you find out Santa's not real. When you find out, superheroes aren't real, and as you're growing up as a kid, there's no tooth fairy. There's no man that is like a god out there. Men are, and women are all created equal and make flaws. Some are make better decisions than others. But when it comes to cryptocurrency, there was like at one point there was nobody at the top of his game. But then I think, you know what? He had a very, very good way of selling himself as being one of the most smartest men ever. Matter of fact, without even showing you his Mensa test results, he has you and I thinking he's got a 143 IQ. We don't know that. Have we ever seen his Mensa stats? He just threw it out there one day. One day he was in a live stream. He goes, "I got a 143 IQ," and he tells the other guy, "Do you?" I got the Mensa results to tell me that. Right? Did he ever publicly? No, he just said he had it. He could have said he had a fucking 160, and everyone would believe it. And for that reason right there, years after the fact, and basically Pulse Chain skipping the bull market, it has people believing in things like these PDI narratives that he's playing 5D chess. Oh, he's got a 143 IQ. I think he's a very good salesman. I think he's smart as hell too when it comes to blockchain, right? I think he thinks he's smarter than the average person, and he might be. I love Richard Hart. He sold me on him being like, the really smart guy that I wanted to, mirror. But he's human, right? The human error. You forked Ethereum. Ethereum sucks. That's like forking at this stage right here, right? I think somebody just said in the comments, wish he forked Sonic. Should have forked Solana. You know why he didn't fork Solana? Because Solana blockchain was down or whatever. Yeah, it was down, bro. Because how many hundreds of millions of dollars are flowing through that blockchain, and how many new users does it get by the day at the peak of the bull, at its peak period? Jack Levin launched PZ Mint on Pulse Chain and broke it for like a week. You know how many people I know that had stuck transactions for up to 7 days? The average was like, you're lucky if your transaction was only stuck for 2 days. Until people figured out what you needed to do, because we never had that situation. Oh, you sent yourself to 0 transaction, do this. It was like, okay, Zen Mints went live on Pulse. Gas fees up, transactions are stuck. What? What? They couldn't handle Zen Mints? They broke it 2 months after it launched. A month after it launched, I think it was. He launched them in June and launched them. Yeah. What the hell, dude? That's what happens when you fork Ethereum. Because Zen broke Ethereum too. It launched gas fees. I just, you live and you learn. Now you know. If you know, you know, because you experienced it. Now when that happens again and you see something like that, you might know, hey, like this chain ain't all that. But I'm heavily invested in it. So emotionally, I want it to go up. Emotionally, I can't resist one impulse chain to go up. And I think because it's at the bottom, it has many X's to go on a recovery. But in the long run, do I want to stick around for tech that is not as good as other tech that I'm using, like Sonic or even Solana? No. My thought is like, okay, when it goes up, get out with profits and go on your merry way, because you wouldn't just stick around, with some old technology when this is a tech-driven industry. Why the hell would you? Now, if there's some upgrades to happen and all that, then that would be cool. But right now, we have tokens like this that are killing the community, extracting, people believe in it. It is what it is, man. Everyone's on the fence on on what they believe. Look at gas token. Gas token's up a lot today. What else in the OG Web Chef? Blacksmith has got the vote going to go down. Who knows what they're going to give us tomorrow? Maybe they'll give us gas. Beast went to Beast was like when it hit $19 yesterday. It's 17. I put a little circle here. I'm buying more on my trade wallet at 14. And I can take that to the bank because its biggest pair is with Bitcoin. And if you watched the members video yesterday and you see my price targets for Bitcoin in the upcoming, few months here, then I'm gonna get a cheaper beast for that reason. It's its biggest pairs wrapped BTC. So, these tokens just don't go up forever. They're going up right now, and it's exciting. It's very exciting. It's very exciting to see that it went there. But what goes up comes down, and it will come down and correct and go back up, I believe. But I have for my trading wallet for Beast, buy zone here. And my other wallet, just let it stack, compound, That's what I'm looking at. So price targets, go to the members video if you haven't watched that yesterday for the members. You'll see. So Pulse Chain is more like a decentralized chain, not a speed chain, and success relies on people that want privacy. So question is, will the government allow that? I don't think the government's going to have they're going to be in really harassing crypto anymore in the near future during this presidency. And if we go from Trump to JD Vance becoming president, it'll stay the same. But there's definitely not any new users coming to Pulse Chain. Like barely at all. We don't have much new capital. We have rotation of money within the ecosystem, which is making it very difficult for us to progress. The thing that's going to hurt us the most is, for one, Sonic continuously, like Sonic has a massive airdrop that's happening, and Richard Hart declared his PRC20 airdrops, the fork of the entire chain over to Pulse Chain and getting that airdrop, the world's largest airdrop. The world's largest airdrop is going to be by Sonic. Right now, you can earn these points. For season 1, it's 200 million Sonic. It's going to be airdropped of Sonic token that has a value. Okay, not a free copy that you can speculate. And it did fail because Richard Hart did the world's largest airdrop, hoping that the Ethereum people would say, "Oh, I got a free copy over there. Let me bring my ETH over here and pair them up." Right? Instead, they extracted their free money, and some of them just still have it there, don't even realize, and left the chain. I think it retained very few users. The world's largest airdrop that will be known as a true airdrop with value will be Sonic. So the success of Sonic will hurt Pulse Chain if people start leaving Pulse Chain. I'm just expanding. I'm staying in Pulse Chain and doing Sonic right now. What will really start to separate the gap, the people that like true DeFi, right, is as Zen X1 launches and this is a success, then you have a three-way split of people that are in Pulse Chain, Sonic, and then X1, because a lot of Zen people are in Pulse. A lot of Pulse people are going over to Sonic and playing both sides. So now you're going to have a third blockchain that will be quicker and faster. So that will extract probably more from Pulse Chain than it would Sonic, if that makes sense. And it's an SVM. So things are going to get interesting, but I do believe that Pulse Chain has will be front running the bottom of the bear market. And, it's got low liquidity because of the strategy by Richard Hart, removing the incentive of farming because of the emissions being cut multiple times with Ink token. So liquidity stands. So it can do many X's very easily. But we're not going to see that for probably, I would say, towards the end of the year. We'll start seeing it recover. Richard Hart better come with it. Jack Levin got that layer 1 coming out soon. Yeah, I'm excited for X1. because I know he pushed every blockchain to the limit, to the point of bringing down their systems and doing some damage, like breaking the chains, basically, right? Clogged the chains, all of them. Now he has all that data to say, this is what they did wrong, what I'm going to do to make sure I can handle that. And when he launches X1, we'll see if it extracts users. When it will extract users, and it's interesting because X1 didn't launch during this cycle. If X1 launches at the bottom of the bear, and it's exciting, it's going to be able to ride the next cycle up. And Jack Levin might be the better trader. He might be the one who has timed it perfectly. Honestly, because you want to launch during a bear market. You want to launch a blockchain or a token at the top of the bull. So we'll see. Beast going down a little bit. I just expected to feel the wick here. The Bitcoin keeps going down, which like I said in the members only video, give you my price targets. I wouldn't be surprised going into the weekend. We have some like what they'll call China FUD. Like China might just come out and be like, if I was China, right? If I was China and Trump just said, you know what, forget the 104, we're going to 125, number 145. If I were China and the way they're talking, I believe that if you want to do a true trade war, and what Trump is trying to do to them is damage them, cause damage, force them to make a deal with him. Some think it's going to work. Some people think it's just going to, create volatility, which it is. It's going to do that. I think China is going to come back and say, it wouldn't make sense for them to go to 200. Wouldn't even make sense for them to go to 250, but maybe they'll start off low. But if I were them, I would go straight to 300 to 400%. Boom. That's that. What now, homie? Right? Because he's got them cornered with this increase in tariffs, like by the day, going from 104 to 125. I believe that we talked about it earlier is like 145 now, right? This is the article that I read here. They're gonna say, you want to play like this? You're gonna open tomorrow on Friday with a massive dump. You want to go 145? I think they doubling it up would be close to 300 to 400%. That will force, okay, if they come back with the 300 to 400%, on the trade war and say, hey, we're going to slap you between there, that's going to force a crazy market crash. Now Trump's in a corner. He's going to make the phone call and say, hey, look, we got to stop this shit right now. Let's figure it out. Because they go back and forth, okay, 200, 225, no, 275, stop it some more. Like, no, China's going to say, you want to do this? All right, 300%. I think China's going to come back by the time we open Friday, which is tomorrow morning, or the market opens Monday. They're going to crash our markets hard. That's the retaliation. What number is going to really tank the stock market, which they know Trump is very, very concerned about? What would devastate the market and put him in a position to go, okay, I need to knock this off, right? Because they said they're going to play fire with fire. They're not going to go down without a fight. So I anticipate 300 to 400% news coming out soon. If they don't do it to crash us going into the weekend, which would be real dirty of them to do, because then the market doesn't even open up to Monday, and it gives them the weekend to either negotiate or not negotiate. Or they give us a Black Monday, which is even a stronger narrative and even scarier thought. Black Monday is really coming, right? I think they're going to slap us with a crazy 300 to 400%. Crash our stock market, crash Bitcoin, buy the Bitcoin dump, talk to Daddy Trump, fix things, and, or it can continue to go. We don't know where we're heading. This is a trade war. We haven't seen this. We haven't been this fine-tuned in what a trade war even is or what tariffs even really done until now. It teaches this stuff. So be prepared. Be prepared, right? And everything that I love Everything I love is killing me. Ethereum, Pulse Chain, and OG. Well, OG is making me print. OG is making me print. So it just went with the song. It just rhymed. It just rhymed. So don't forget to pound the like button. Oh, did we take a look at oil? I'm printing. Every day we're hustling, hustling, hustling. Oil went up. We'll cover that right now. Before we end the stream, where is oil? Come on. This is like my best printer right now on Sonic, and it's number 2 to OG. It's doing very well. I don't recommend anybody do anything that they don't want to do. This is not a recommendation to play this game. I'm just showing you that I'm doing good because I got in early. And that's what happens. I told you a long time ago, right? Look at this. I already got money coming out. I got thousands in the oil refinement, ready to refine to sell. Everything's full blown printing. What is that? 2,794 C oil per day. That's priced at 35 cents. Printing $977 a day. Half of that's going to be held to the side to do repairs. So about $488 a day gets to go into my pocket. Hey, I like that. I like that. And they just did some like new upgrade. Look at this. You don't own any is it shies? Visit the mint page to get your first shot. I don't know. I gotta go look. Let me go look. They just this is brand new. Brand new. Mint them here. What does it cost to mint? Do I want to mint them? Mint your shy. Sold out. Oh, too late. Get yours on Paid Swap. What are they? Are they already trading yet? Oh, look at they're already ranked 4. Damn, they sold out quick. Too busy live streaming. Right. Floor prices raising up every day on the blocks. Oh yeah, mamma mia. I could probably sell my plot for a good amount. Mine's beefed up. It's maxed. Everything. It's maxed. Let me see what they're going for. Yeah. So expensive. We got in early. See if any sold so far today at a good price. Depending on what they have on the land, what they've done. I just want to see. Someone paid $800 for this one. Let's see how many pumps he has. Someone paid $800 and he has one oil pump. One oil pump. I got 94 max upgrades. I'm 94x worth that. That's how I look at it. If you pay for a plot with one pump and I got 94 and all the upgrades, hey, I'm doing good. Will we even sell American goods in China? I've heard very little. I doubt they can crash anything over here other than cheap goods. No, they're going to crash the stock market because they're going to create its emotion, bro. All they have to say is like, there's a crazy tariffs. Nobody understands tariffs. And the stock market will crash. I'm telling you. We'll see. The market will crash as well. Yeah. At least we can speculate and forecast that these things will happen to start timing some greater dips in crypto, right? And like I said, go check out the members video yesterday. If you're not a member, links in the description. It's only $2.99 a month. If you want to buy me a coffee, feel free. When my price targets hit, like I'll give you one, I believe $600 to $750 Ethereum will be happening, in the near future for the bear market for Ethereum. Ethereum will never hit all-time high again. It will never hit its first all-time high of $4,700 plus. It may never hit its all-time high in this cycle of 4,000. I think from if it were to hit 600, think about this. If it hits a $600 price point, in the next cycle, if it's 5x, it only hits 3,000. That's short of the 4,000 it did this cycle. It'll never happen again. The markets will be so big and the market caps of everything will be diluted with new players, and Solana will be like a top 5, right? Will Solana flip Ethereum? Yes. Yes, I'm telling you, it will. Do I like Solana? No. Am I heavy in Solana? No. Have I played on Solana? Yes. Does that have way more volume? Yes. Was there a bigger meme coin market on there this season? Yes. Is Wall Street talking about tokenizing stocks already on Solana in the near future? Yes. Did the president of the United States launch a new token on Solana and not Ethereum? Yes. I don't make the rules. I don't make the rules. Is what it is. Don't forget to pound the like button. Drop a comment. Till next time. We'll do it again. Yeah, dog.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat. Mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat. Mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including got me on Avex and bought me some Joe. Farming go crazy, you know how it goes. Zoopy on Phantom, I got a few notes. Sticking my regs, you know I'm gon' hold. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Getting these calls from the dog pound. Buy my dot for the next round. Now I'm coming up off the compound. Got my drip off the rebound. Crypto talk with Thomas G.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat. Mining sprees. And we're farming all around, including heat.
Yeah, dog.
Bringing heat. Mining sprees.